Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. First I'm going to start off by showing you something which I showed you in a previous video, but hang on. These are my journals slash planners. I started bullet journaling and I did spreads, like month spreads. I'm testing it out. It's fun. So I'm going to bullet journal and we're going to chat about my plans for this year. So I know you saw my goal list and I mentioned that we would be doing a couple of smaller trips and things for vacation instead of like one big vacation, which we've done the past couple of years. And I kind of want to talk about that and why we decided that and all that kind of stuff. So if we have a baby this year, not only does that cost a lot of money, but it also, there's like stipulations on when you can go places or when it's safe to travel certain places and things like that. And I wanted to go somewhere still, but have like that assurance or flexibility. Nothing planned too big that we couldn't like cancel or reschedule for when if we did get pregnant. We talked about last year like, hey, you know, if we get pregnant, I'm starting like this. I want to still do this stuff, but I don't necessarily know how we want to do it to make it, you know, make the most sense for us. And Gregory and I decided that the best way to, you know, make this stuff work was to kind of plan in advance a couple of smaller things. Last year we did a run to the Mall of America, which was super fun, and we had a great time doing that. And we totally would do it again, except that it's kind of expensive, more on the expensive side, and we're hoping to go to Wisconsin Dells instead in the spring. So that is our first plan for a trip this year, is to go to Wisconsin Dells and to bring the boys and hopefully just have a really great time. I'm looking forward to it. I know Gregory is as well. I'm really not great at talking and doing stuff at the same time because I just don't really have a lot of skills, but I'm working on it and it's going okay, I would say. The only problem that I'm finding is that there's the spiral in the middle. That's slightly problematic for me. So now I'm removing that tape. But our first trip of the year, we're planning to go around March to the Wisconsin Dells, which is obviously in Wisconsin. And it's about 4-ish hours from where we live. Might be a little more, might be a little less. I'm not 100% positive. I haven't looked it up recently. But it's approximately that far. We're probably just going to do an extended weekend, like Thursday through Sunday kind of situation. Nothing super fancy or big, but something to get away with the kids and do something enjoyable. I've wanted to take the boys to the water park a few times, but it's just never worked out with Gregory's schedule for him to go as well, and he really wants to be a part of their first water park experience. And I figured that if we are going to do this, it'd be fine to do in early pregnancy if I'm early pregnancy, then I will definitely feel tired, I'm sure, but I will also feel not super pregnant or nervous or anxious about that kind of stuff, I don't think. So we figured early, but also March is usually a really hard time of year for me, and I think for a lot of people in the state with seasonal depression or anything like that, just because it gets really draggy and hard sometimes. Although this year we really don't have that much snow so far, and it hasn't been super cold yet, and it's already into January. And normally by now it's pretty cold and snowy. So I'm wondering if we'll feel that same need in March or if we'll end up trying to delay the trip to April or how it'll end up going for us specifically. But we definitely are hoping to do that. And then our second trip of the year is actually a trip that we haven't decided when we're going to take it, which is why I'm putting it in the second spot, because it might be earlier than the other trip. It might be after. I'm not totally sure. For Christmas, we were gifted a child-free weekend from my sister-in-law. I'm very excited. It was very kind of her. She was like, I think I can do it, but there are stipulations. So according to her stipulations, it won't be very soon. We also don't have time this month because we're really busy. But anyway, I'm not totally sure when that'll take place and how it'll go or what we'll do. So that is also on the agenda to take. Basically, it's like our anniversary. Gonna be our anniversary trip gift to each other, because for our anniversary we do something together. Sometimes it's in the form of a baby moon, or like last year it was delayed a year and a whole thing. So a couples trip will also be taking place at some point in time this year. The last thing that we're doing for the year is my brother graduated last year, rather one of my brothers graduated last year, and we wanted to take him on a trip to Michigan because back before my husband and I were married, it was actually in between when we were dating and we were dating again. We broke up for a little bit, and when we were broken up, we had this trip scheduled to go on in October to Michigan, to this one specific city. And we had everything planned out, and then we ended up breaking up, so I took my family instead, because it was already all paid for by me. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go. He didn't go with us, and as disappointing as that was, as I was there that year, I basically was sitting there going, oh, Gregory would have loved this. Gregory would have loved this. And so we've talked about going back since we got back together. And then we got married and had kids and all of that, and just haven't gone. But my brother loved it when we went. And so for his graduation, we were talking about going because why not? So right now I'm creating the grid for the month. And I give myself 5 rows, like calendar rows. But because that will be in October, it's going to be probably at the end of my 3rd trimester. I mean, depending upon when I get pregnant. But if I get pregnant earlier in the year, it'll probably be at the end of my 3rd trimester. So it's likely that I will not go with them unless I've already had a baby, which I guess is possible but doubtful. It's about 7 to 8 hours away. So if I'm like, I don't know, we're getting a cancelable room so that if for whatever reason I'm like, no, please wait, don't go, depending upon when I'm due, I might just not have them go. Otherwise, they're close enough where it's not horribly hard to get back. At most, it would take 8 hours. I think my brother is going to do a fishing charter while he's there. Not totally sure on that one, but it should be fun. I have kind of figured out a method for creating this grid and like numbers and whatnot, and I'm proud of it. Those are the 3 trips that we have planned so far. March, question month, and then October. We might change some of that up a bit. We might shift things around a little bit, but it'll be generally in that time frame. I'll let you guys know when we book them, but I'm very excited. The other thing I wanted to talk about while I'm doing this is Gabriel's birthday party. Gabriel's birthday party is in like 2 weekends from now, I want to say. We decided to do something out of the house because we had Azariah's birthday party here, which was the first like kids' birthday party that we had in here in the winter time when everyone was inside. Granted, it wasn't that cold, so some people did go outside during the party, and the kids went and played outside and I think visited with the cats and stuff. But they like still were primarily inside, And it was good. It was a good party. I think everything was fine. But it just, there was a lot of like gathering around the TV and watching the TV, and it was hard to like turn it off once it got turned on. And it's just not what a birthday party is about. And I want Gabriel to be enjoying his party and not watching TV. So until we figure out our living situation, like our entertaining space, I guess, or even just not having the TV on at parties, I was like, I just want to take away the opportunity to have anything like that like go on and just have it somewhere else. And it wasn't too expensive to book the place that we booked. There's some benefits to it that I'm very excited about, and I'm just looking forward to seeing how the kids enjoy it. I think they really will. We'll see how it ends up. We're doing pizza for food, and I think the plan will be to get there, decorate as soon as everyone arrives, do food and gifts, then let them go and play on all the stuff. But I'm kind of thinking that since we'll have the food out when they show up, we'll just do the food like as people are coming in instead of making it like a whole formal thing. And then as they're leaving, giving them out cupcakes and singing happy birthday right before we leave when we have to clean up anyway. That way it kind of gives the kids a reason to come back, and we can like start wrapping things up and tidying up and whatnot. But we'll see how it goes exactly. That's the plans for his birthday party. It will be pretty enjoyable, I think. Outside of his birthday party, there are a couple of other things happening in January because every weekend is booked. So this weekend we are going to my sister-in-law's dedication to the church. It's not exactly a dedication. It's like a declaration of commitment, I think is what it's called. So we're doing that Saturday morning, and then she has to go back to work right after that. And my other sister-in-law is coming over to spend the weekend with us. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons with our friends. Basically, the whole weekend we have like 2 games set up. So it should be a good time. And tonight, this weekend is like game weekend. We are also, if you noticed on my new goal list, we are starting to do dates weekly again, and one of those dates per month will be out of the house. This week is at home. I'm planning it, and by the time that this is out, it'll have happened. But basically, we're doing this music date. That was like a date book idea. I have this little like jar on my piano back there of like date ideas, and that's the one that I drew. So that's the one that we're gonna do tonight. So I'm putting that together, and then we are going to learn how to play. My husband got a new version of, like, it's an expansion for the game Catan, or Settlers of Catan, if you're familiar or aware. And yes, that's the only proper way to pronounce it. It's Catan. We are gonna play the expansion, and I am going to probably, I'm not gonna pick up a treat, but I'm gonna probably like have us get like sodas or something and just hang out. Nothing too big or extravagant, just something relaxing and fun, and starting to enjoy like the little things more. So it'll be a good time. Then next weekend, I'm having a big girl sleepover with 2 of my friends. I'm very excited. It's just one night. It's not like the whole weekend or something. But we are staying at one of the girls' house who lives alone. And she is basically hosting us for the night. And we're going to do the sleepover of our big girl dreams. We spent a lot of time this last year talking and hanging out, and it was always really like late or long or whatever, and there was still like more to say and all that kind of stuff that, is generally the case with the friends. But we're, unlike some of my, like one of my mom friends, we can't. So we'll be hanging out and doing that as well on the second weekend of January. Then the third weekend is Gabriel's birthday party, and then that Sunday is pretty much open. But we might, because on Gabriel's actual birthday is like President's Day or something, and it's on Monday. We were going to take him to his first movie experience for like his birthday day, But of course it's closed on his birthday day. So we might go a different day and then just do a special dinner on his birthday. I don't know. We're still trying to figure it out. I just realized I forgot to put the days of the week on one of my calendars. Then the last weekend of January, one of my sister-in-laws and I are going on a Mom's Day getaway. It was a Christmas gift and I'm very excited. It's gonna be very like relaxed. We're going to just craft for a weekend. Just the two of us hanging out and just chilling in silence without our children. And my husband volunteered to watch all 4 of them himself, her kids and my kids. We'll definitely get lost in a lot of conversations while we're crafting, but I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. So I need to put that together, but it's gonna be very exciting, and that's the end of our January. So lots of fun bookend weekends, and I've scheduled some days for Gregory to do his thing, probably in February, maybe March, but probably February. I'm gonna have him and my brother, if they end up going together, I don't know, they're gonna plan that. They're gonna be going out, so he is also getting a fun like getaway weekend to do something he enjoys. Very excited for him because he deserves it. So that's basically vacation plans, what the month is gonna entail, updates, and all that kind of good stuff. So let's look. This is what we created. Da-da-da. The A looks super funny when you look at it, so just ignore the A. That's what I hate about the middle of this. But other than that, it looks pretty good to me. I did also have to add the like days up in April because I didn't have them in there. It looks like I only have Thursday marked in March. If you have any questions or things you want to know about our plans or suggestions for like what to do certain places, I would love to hear your thoughts or suggestions. We're good to go with the days of the week, but this has been really fun for me to do and enjoyable, and I am probably going to finish out the rest of the year, but not right now. Just going to get some kids some lunch because it is right around lunchtime here, and then put people down for a nap because they're both super crabby. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Then hit the bell down below so you can get notifications for when more videos come out. And we will see you next time. Love, Genevieve.